Hello and welcome everyone to day 38 in this quest for a 2000 rating on chess.com. So let's begin and find an opponent here. All right. So we have black. Let's see what they begin with. All right. So e4, we'll play e5 and so they decide to open that way. Well, let's play knight to f6 here, attacking this unprotected pawn. And see how they respond here. Okay, so immediately they want to attack here. All right. Well, so they want to make it tricky right in the beginning here. Okay, so do we attack, capture this pawn? Do we capture this pawn? Let's see. If we go there, we'll go ahead and do that. See what they do. I can't waste too much time on the moves here. All right, so now let's go ahead. Should we play that and get ready to castle? Why not? We'll just try and get castled here quickly. All right, so they want to do that. We can go ahead. Now, should we attack them? That is the question. Should we go ahead and attack them? So we could counterattack here. All right, we'll go ahead and do that. And just see how this turns out. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a big mess. All right. Well, let's see what they do next here. All right, so they are attacking. I believe we have to jump forward here. Let's see. Well, I think we have to go there. And let's see how this plays out next. This is similar to this other game that I had maybe, I forget what day it was, but a couple weeks ago maybe. I had a game that was similar to this. So we need to try and capture here. All right. Well, now we can just pick that off, I guess. Okay, but we have to be careful here because they could attack and then line up for a mate here. All right. Well, if they're attacking us, should we counterattack there? Let's see. We could try and counterattack. Or do we just retreat back to here? Okay, this is going to be the turning point of the game. So if we go here and attack, he could just capture, we capture. His queen's under attack. Or he just captures us, we capture him, and then we'll have this threat here. So, all right. So maybe we have to retreat back. Maybe we have to retreat. All right. Now, if we go there, he'll move in with his knight. So, we really have to be careful here. All right. If we capture, then he attacks us. All right. If we capture, all right, so we're under attack and we're in trouble here, so we need to really be careful. If we capture his knight, he'll just move his rook to d1, attacking our queen, and if we move, he'll have that mate threat on d8. So, we have to move somewhere. Do we just move over? Like here, maybe? All right, I guess that's what we're doing. Just moving over. See what they decide to do next. Have to get this knight out. So, all right. So now they're piling up on that. We should just go ahead, develop. and see what they decide to do next. All right, so they're building up pressure here. Okay, so that was kind of expected. All right. So now they're threatening this fork. We should just castle. Oh, we can't castle because of that. All right, well, now he's got 3 attackers there. All right, well, All right, this is not looking too good. So, threat of the fork here. Do we just back up with our bishop and protect that? That is a possibility. So, man. All right, we'll just go ahead and do that. All right. Well, I guess we need to attack this pawn with our rook here. Or capture this pawn. Then we can put pressure on this bishop. Let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3 attackers here. We only have 2 defenders, but his knight is unprotected, so he's probably just going to jump his knight up here and capture. If he does that, though, we could have a chance of going after this bishop over here. So, how do we want to go with this next? Will he just jump down here? Then we have to capture. And it'll give him time to attack over here. We would capture. His rook would come in and threaten. Well, we're still covering with this rook, preventing a mate down here on d8. But we're attacking his knight. What can we do? I guess next, he has to do something about his knight over here. So I would imagine maybe he would just attack here. So if he captures, all right, so he decides to retreat. All right, so he retreats. Well, now we could just capture. We can just go ahead and capture his knight. What did this move do? It lets him come into the center here and attack. If he does that, all right, anyway, we'll go after this piece. Hopefully it's not a horrible mistake. All right, now what? His knight's going to jump down into the position. So probably go here. Threatening to attack this. Okay, so So he goes that way instead. All right. Well, do we have any kind of attack here on the king side is what I'm wondering. And we have to hold the center. So maybe an obvious move is just to move here and attack this unprotected bishop. Something like that. All right. Well, once again, he has 3 attackers here. Oh, I'm just going to go there before I start wasting too much time. We'll just go after that. All right. So now think, well, let's take a close look at everything. All right, we can just start trading off. We do have a check here. Can that cause any problems? If we do it now, he could just block. We should probably take here. Then check. All right, let's see. If we capture, the knight captures. If we check, then what does he do? Just move and then we capture. All right, so all right. Looks like we should just capture. But does it matter if we capture with the knight or not? If we capture with the bishop, I don't think it matters. All right. We'll just go ahead and capture there. Attacking his queen. He's going to recapture, okay, with the knight. So now we can throw in a check in here. He probably won't be expecting that. Do we have anything better though? We'll just check. Huh, so they resigned there. All right, well, I guess we'll have to investigate that. I mean, I thought, oh, I see. If he, well, he could have blocked with the queen, I think. Yeah, if he blocked with the queen, I don't know. I mean, well, we are ahead a piece. What is the material count here? We have 6 pawns to 6 pawns. We're just ahead by that extra bishop. So we put him in check. Anyway, we'll do a quick game review and some analysis and look at the details. All right, so game review here. I played at 87.9 versus, excuse me, versus their 80.1. So we both had 2 mistakes. and that's it, it looks like. They had a brilliant move, so we'll have to see what that was, and then we had 3 great moves. And it says, way to go, you took advantage of them. Wait, you took the advantage, then finished off your opponent when you saw your chance. All right, so we'll go back and take a look at this. It says we played at a 1950 level versus their 1650. Opening accuracy for them was 98.6, and then we had 97.9. Then their middle game was 61.3 versus our 83.4. And it says you really outplayed your opponent in that one. You played the opening well, but your opponent was on another level in the opening. You were a cut above your opponent in the middle game. I don't know. I think we could have played better there. Let's take a look at this. So start the review. All right. So we captured here. I'll just blast through it and it'll go through these moves quick, and then we'll look at it more in the analysis. So d5, they like that move. You're threatening to win a pawn. All right. All right, anyway, we'll take a look at that in the game review here. Okay, so we blocked, so we're doing good so far. It did not like that move. Okay, so maybe, well, we have to move the queen, it looks like. Unless we block with the bishop, perhaps. Anyway, we'll take a look at that move. Well, let's see what they say was best. They just want us to block with the bishop. Okay. But then, you think they would capture. I guess we could capture with the king and have the king stuck in the middle. But I don't know about that. If we capture with the queen, then they can just pick off this pawn. And then go after our bishop here. All right, anyway, something to take a look at in the analysis. So, you overlooked an opportunity to pin an attacker of a vulnerable queen. Okay. Oh, okay, so we didn't have to even move. We could have just jumped up here, pinned this knight. Oh man, okay, so I overlooked that move. Yeah, they're saying that's a mistake. I could have just pinned him right here. And then I wouldn't have had to worry about moving my queen. All right. So, next. Bishop to b6, the only move that works, and you found it. All right, so then we capture this piece. All right, and then I think they resign there. All right, so let's take a look at the analysis, because this game was kind of crazy. It's even, then white has a pretty good advantage, a lead here, and then it just swings back into black's favor, I think, when he gave up that knight. All right, so let's take a look at the analysis back from move 1. So e4, e5, bishop to c4, the bishop's opening. So here, and once again, since I'm still learning the opening repertoire, I couldn't remember exactly what I was supposed to play against that. It might have been knight to f6, which is what I played. But I'll have to take a look at that for future games. All right, so I play this, and they move immediately in the center. And if I capture, looks like that's the best move. That's what I did. Now black has a slight edge here. And what do they play? Knight to f3, which was best. And so, what do we have here? Looks like knight capturing on e4 is the best way to go. I debated that move, but I didn't want to be pinned here to my king, or, you know, have the queen move in and pin, then, you know, threatening to castle and go after this piece. I mean, I guess well, I don't know. It says that's the best move. So right now, it's saying I should take that. The queen would capture here. Then I should go back to here. Then bishop to g5. Bishop to e7. And they castle. Or knight to c3. Let's see here. Anyway, that's what it's saying I should have done. So now we have knight to f3 in the game, and they're piling up on this pawn. So what do we do here? We develop our bishop. Bishop to c5. It says that keeps things even, but it looks like we should have went after this pawn. So we did bishop to c5, and it says that's a good move, but now the game's even. So we have e5, and it looks like d5 is the best response, so that's what we played. They play, let's see, so they capture. They capture, which is best. We capture, the best move. And now they check. All right, so it says that's best. We block, and it looks like that was probably the best move. And we're protecting this pawn. So now they capture, and that's best. We have to move our rook. And now bishop to g5 is the best move, attacking our queen. And here, it looks like the best thing to do is to block like this. So then they would capture. Then it looks like, all right, so king capturing is the best move here to help keep this, you know, to hold on to this pawn in the center. So now it looks like queen to e4. Oh man. Queen to e4. The knight holding on to this pawn. Then queen captures here. And king, where, to d7? To try and get out of the center. So king to d7 is, man, yeah, that's tricky. I don't know if I would like this variation too much. So knight to c3. What? Oh, okay, because if we capture, then they can pin our, well, attack our queen, king and queen here with the rook to d1. All right, so that's the best move, to jump in there. Oh, actually, it does not like that now. Now it's saying queen to h6. All right, well, let's go back. What does it say about that now? So that's what it likes the best. But then we have queen to e7. Queen to e7. I mean, I guess that threatens a check here. If they block, we can capture. Maybe we go after this pawn. Or, well, if they block, we just go after the pawn, and we're attacking the rook here. All right, so anyway, in the game, after bishop to g5, we move our queen. So What else? What other options do they give? Queen to d7. Yeah, that might not have... Well, I don't know. Queen to d7, then they could jump their knight down here and attack us. So I don't know if I like that. Queen to d7. Queen to d6. Maybe that's a little better. Queen to d6 here. But in the game, we go to d5, which allows them to play that, and they say that's a brilliant move. But here we retreated, or we moved our queen, and it looks like bishop to b4, pinning to the king would have been better. And then if they castle like that, we go ahead. Ooh. Well, now it's saying the best move is to capture. And then after they capture, then what? The knight jumps up. All right, knight jumps up to there. Then h4, protecting the bishop. Or even, what else did they recommend? Bishop to f6 down here to protect that pawn. Whew. Anyway, after this move, which is what we did in the game, well, now things, yeah, it says that's a mistake. And basically at this point, I don't know, white has a pretty big advantage. So they castle long. g4 would have been better to just attack there. Oh, man. And then I guess they could move over here and attack our queen some more. All right, well, we jump up here, which is best to help protect the center. They try and jump down here for this fork, and it does not like that. So we retreat back. So bishop to b6 was the best move, and we were able to find it. And it says that's a great move, because now we're attacking here. And what else? Do we have anything else going on in this position? I mean, we can pick off this pawn here. Their best move is a4 to just protect that. All right, so a4 is their best move to protect the knight. And then it looks like our best move would be to just go ahead and capture here. Then we're putting pressure on this bishop. So we could capture the bishop, and if the knight recaptured, then we could capture here. So now it looks like h4 is the best move. And now, what do they recommend? h6? So we do that. And then either capturing, and now it's saying that f6 would have been better. Ooh, I don't know about that move, f6, because we have to protect this bishop. So now it looks like, their best response here is g4 to attack our queen. Okay, they attack our queen. Well, now we go queen to g6. Man, yeah, I don't know. This is all looking pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Okay. Well, if we go there, now it's saying play a5 and attack. over here. Or h5, attacker queen. Anyway, in the game, let's see. After they move down, threatening this fork, and we retreat, they played this move, which was their mistake. So a4 protecting the knight would have been better. And then, let's see. We capture. So, I assume that was the best move, yes. All right, and now king to b1 would have been the best move. All right. Well, instead, what did they play? Bishop to f6 to protect this pawn. So, oh, actually, it's saying that is the best move for them, is to just protect that pawn. And now, let's see, knight to b4 is best here. I wouldn't have guessed that move, knight to b4. What did we play? We played queen to f5 over here. Queen to f5. All right, anyway, we'll take a look at this knight to b4 move. Why do they like that? Maybe we're going to push this pawn up. It recommends rook takes d4 here, but the top move is king to b1. All right. So if they do that, well, what are we trying to do? Knight takes a2. Well, let me take a look at this. So if we go here, all right, then it recommends giving up our knight here. And if they capture, well, then what? What happens if they capture? Then it wants c3. What? All right, I got to take a look at this. So if we give that up, and if the king captures, now, oh, okay, I see. c3 check, and we're attacking this. So, whoa, this is crazy. Queen takes e6 check. Okay, because we're attacking the queen at the same time, so it would be a discovered attack on their queen, I see. All right, so that's why they can't do that. All right, so anyway, let's go back to the game. The queen moves over here to f5. They attack in the center. And is that best? Looks like bishop takes d4 is best. And now the best move would have been to capture with the bishop. And I wasn't sure. It looks like they're about the same, but the bishop capture looks like that's a little better. Or even, well, I guess you could check, but they could block with the bishop and then counterattack my queen, I guess. So anyway, we captured with the knight, and then their best response is to capture, and now queen to f4. So this is where the game ended, and that was the best move, to check there. And they're still in the game, it looks like. Let's see. Queen to d2. Now, I thought queen to e3 would work because now why is queen to d2 better? If they go with queen to d2, they're attacking our queen. We capture, their rook captures. Then once we capture here, I guess that just trades down material and we're just ahead at the end. So we could take a look at both of those. Well, let's see what the computer says, how the game could have continued. Queen to d2, capture here. And it looks like capturing with the queen would have been better because now they could just move away. But if they do that, we could just capture here, I guess. But yeah, it would have been better to capture with the queen since we're ahead in material. So if they go there, we capture, they capture, we capture that pawn, and now they're probably going to double up here. Oh, nope, or I thought they would double up. Oh, they have to protect that. Okay. So the king moves over. And anyway, let's go back and see what would have been better. Queen to f4 check. It looks like queen to d2. Then well, if we do that, and then they capture with the rook. Then we go after this. Then they capture. And this is kind of the same thing. So then we capture here. They protect that. So it's the same kind of thing. And we're, probably going to try and bring this over and trade off one of the rooks maybe if we can. So if we go back to this, I thought in the game they could try something like this. And now it says to go ahead and capture. Then they would capture with the pawn, and now this is protected. So, should we just trade down more material here? Says best is to just capture like this, but I don't know. Then rook to d2, they would start doubling up here. Okay, anyway, we got a win out of it. And I don't know, earlier in the game it wasn't looking too good, so I definitely have to brush up on this opening and see if I could have, played it a little bit differently in the very beginning. Thank you all for watching. For those of you who haven't liked or subscribed, please go ahead and do so to support the channel. And also, feel free to leave comments or suggestions or any requests on what you would like to see in the future. So thank you all for watching and have a super chess day.